For this video, still part on the review on real numbers, we have to prove that the square of the absolute value of a is equal to a squared for all a element of real numbers. To prove this, we are going to use the previously discussed and proven property of absolute value, at the same time the definition itself. So let's rewrite here the definition. The absolute value of x has three different scenarios. The answer is x if x is greater than 0, 0 if x is equal to 0, and negative x if x is less than 0. So we depend our result on these situations here pertaining to this absolute value of x. So let's start here with this proof. So we let a be an element of the set of real numbers so that we can use the algebraic properties of real numbers. So our goal now is from here, we reach to this point. So we just need to show that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So then we have here the square of the absolute value of a. So how do we show that arriving to this form here? So we can start by looking into this perspective that the square of the absolute value means by exponentiation, it's just a product of the same expression, absolute value of a. So we have this form here. Okay? That's exponentiation in nature, which tells us that we will be using the previously discussed property that the product of two absolute value notations is just equal to the absolute value of the product of the expressions, or vice versa, because in the previous video and the property mentioned, we start from here, the absolute value of the product is the product of the absolute value notation. So they are just the same since we have proven that previously. Now from here, we can show that this is actually equal to a squared of the absolute value of a squared. Okay, this is because our we just multiplied the notations inside. Now the final part of this proof is looking into this perspective as if we have absolute value of a squared, we have three different possibilities, whether it's just x, or in this case a squared, 0, or negative x, or in this case negative x squared. We can invoke here this statement: since a squared in nature is greater than or equal to 0 for all a element of real numbers, because as long as you square any number by the point of real numbers, it will always be greater than or equal to 0, then we are going to pick the first statement here. Then we have here absolute value of a squared is just equal to a squared itself. So we have now shown that from this portion we reach to that. Thus we can now say that the square of the absolute value of a is equal to a squared for all a element of R, and this ends the proof for this property. Thank you very much for watching.